watch
How?
this?
How?
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 Ew,
How do you watch this?
Dude, I'm gonna pee my pants. Hi, you're listening to How Do You Watch This, a movie review podcast where each week we recommend a movie in the genre we love, but they don't. My name is Megan, and I love romance.
My name is Demi, and I love horror.
And this week, I picked out for Demi the romance movie, A Nice Indian Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You better have loved it, but you don't have to tell me right now. You don't have to tell me right now.
I won't say anything. I'll keep it a
Mhm.
surprise, but you'll probably know my
Okay.
feelings pretty soon. So,
I think the threat
yes.
is 2025 release.
No, it is
New
not.
release? What?
No. I thought you had it.
I thought in April 2025.
No.
Lead is a man of color.
That's another good one. No, it was interracial couple.
Damn it, Demi.
It
That
was
was a good one.
But I
That's
was
a good
trying to think of threats
one.
for this movie. I
know.
was trying to look into like, a gay protagonist, and I couldn't think of anything
Yeah.
off the top of my head. And I was like, I'm not really sure. And then I saw interracial couple, and I was like, oh, I could work with that. And then
Yeah.
Sinners came up, and I was like, oh yeah, we're definitely doing Sinners.
Yeah, it was good.
So.
I was like, I saw it was 2025, and I was like, done.
Yeah.
I don't have to think about this
I don't
anymore.
need to do anything more. I
Good
got
one,
it.
Demi.
Dumb idiot. Fucking genius.
Yo, Travis, can you believe this?
Well, we're, I guess, scrapping this whole idea of guessing, right? We're just gonna kind of pick our own thing.
In our next era of the podcast, this is the final guess, and now we're moving forward to no longer. So the reason I remembered why we did guessing at 1st is because we used to keep the movies a secret, and then
Oh, that's right. Okay.
and then you had nothing to have kept a secret.
Yeah, because we
of
were
the
doing
way-
alternative.
Yeah, and so that's why I think something along those lines.
No,
is the
I
reason
think
why we
you're-
did it.
I think you're right. So we decided now we're gonna just kind of do what we did before-ish,
Yeah.
but we'll work with it. But we'll probably say what the thread's gonna be beforehand, and we'll
Yeah.
still keep the movie secret, but just so we have
Yeah.
more options to work with.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, we're coming up
Yeah.
on 2 years. I don't know exactly
Oh my
what the
gosh.
date is, but
Yeah.
we're almost 2 years into doing this. So
Yeah.
it's great.
That's
Thank
wild.
you,
Oh my
thank you,
God.
Martha, for being our longest time listener.
She probably stopped listening after your Fly review.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
She was really upset.
I'm not a horror girly, so I feel like I was like really kind about it.
I feel like you were. So, but anyway,
Yeah.
we're not talking about those.
No, the movie.
We're talking about A Nice Indian Boy.
A
Okay.
Nice Indian Boy.
Released 2025. Why did I write
Mhm.
2024? I don't know.
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Brain on fire. Okay.
Yeah.
Rating? Not rated.
It's not. Interesting.
Apparently. I would say
Okay.
PG-13, but
Yeah, it's PG-13 vibes for sure.
Hour and 39
Mm-hmm.
is a rom-com, and the director is Roshan Sethi.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the details to start with. So, to jump into the movie. Okay.
Okay. Did you watch it alone?
I did watch it alone. I told Brett, I was like, yeah, I'm watching the movie I'm watching is called Nice Indian Boy, and it's about, and like he'd even like let me finish. He was like, gay, as a joke. And I was like, actually, it is very gay. He was
You're like Brett.
He was like, I never make those jokes, and
Yep.
the first time I do, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah, that's what
it
you
is-
get.
it is gay
You get-
actually.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, he was like, what's it good? And I was like, I liked it. I did. So
you did. Yes.
I did like it.
Didn't keep me waiting for very long. Thank you. Glad you liked it.
Yeah.
I watched it with I said this last week, but I watched it with like my sisters and my cousins, and watching it again, I'm like, oh, it's so fun watching like rom-coms with a group of people, because like when you have like everyone gets really
Yeah.
excited or laughs or swoons at the same time, it's very fun. I
Yeah.
really wanted to see this in theater, but it went out of theaters so quick. It was in theaters for a
Dude.
month, and then it was on streaming.
All these movies, it's like even like really big mainstream ones, it's like barely 2 months
I know. And I'm
already.
like, are you kidding me? I want to go see
Yeah.
Superman in theaters, and I'm like, it's probably not going to be in theaters anymore by the time I
Yeah,
go there.
probably like a week, and it's like,
Right.
watch it on Disney Plus.
Exactly. So annoying.
Oh, yeah, that sucks. So,
Yeah.
but hopefully it got
Yeah, I have to
a
check
lot of
what it
watches and stuff.
Ugh,
So
I have to
good
check out what
support.
its box office was, but all right, go ahead.
All right, so it opens up to an Indian wedding, traditional wedding, and we meet Naveen, the main character. He is 25 at this moment, and his
Mhm.
sister's getting married. And he's narrating, and he's pretty much saying, after a bunch of bum college boyfriends, his sister finally allowed
Mhm.
his parents to set her up with someone, to
Yeah.
meet someone. And so she went on a blind date, met this guy, and he's like seemingly perfect, right? He's like good looking, and they're both like very accomplished, good looking people, like perfect people.
Yeah.
So Naveen is talking about that, and he brings up how he is openly gay
Mhm.
and his parents know and everything, but he's never brought anyone home. He's never really like done that. And so at the wedding, everyone's like, "You're next, you're next, you're next." And he's just like, "Ah, yeah." And then we skip to 6 years later, and he's a doctor. And we get a little bit from his family, and his mom calls him, and she's like, "Did you see the movie Milk?" And she's just like trying to like bond with him with
No.
watching gay movies and
Yes.
and shows. And he's just like, "Oh no, I haven't seen it." She's like, "Well, you should watch it. It's good." Blah blah blah. And I just thought like that dynamic is so funny, but like
Oh my
really,
god.
really sweet, but also
Yes.
just like you could tell he's just like, "Please, mom." Like,
Right.
not every gay thing is like I need to watch it. And so he has that talk with his mom, and then we see him go to a temple for
Mhm.
Ganesh,
Mhm.
and he goes to pray, and a man walks in behind him. It's I'd even bring up the
Jonathan
main.
Groff.
Yeah, Jonathan Groff is the man that walks in, but the main character is Karan Soni,
Mhm.
who you might recognize from Deadpool. He's the
Mhm.
cab driver, but he's
Yeah.
so cute, and I was like really
Ugh,
excited
so
to see him.
sweet. I
So
know.
adorable. And so
And do you
yeah.
know that he is partnered, like his partner is the director.
Oh really? Oh no, I
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah, so it's
know.
like a very personal project for them
Oh
because yeah, they were able to put a lot of like, themselves into it, which is
yeah,
great.
that's really nice. I wasn't sure if he was gay,
Yeah.
so that's
I
really
know. I
cute.
think that we're entering a time in Hollywood where they are leaning more towards actually putting
Yeah,
in people in
which
their
is good. Yeah,
their role. Like gay people get to be gay
gay people. Yeah.
characters instead of it being straight people.
We did
So
it.
yeah.
2025. We've done it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say overarching, it's happening across the board, but
Right.
it's happening at least here.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah. So Jonathan Groff's character walks in, and he's behind. They're both praying, and Naveen like looks back for a second, and then just immediately looks forward. So he gets a little glimpse. They look at each other, but nothing
Hmm.
more. He walks away.
Yeah.
So then at the hospital, it's portrait day, and Naveen goes to get his picture taken. And surprise, surprise, the photographer is Jonathan Groff's character named
Hmm.
Jay. And they just have this like really like this chemistry. And it's funny because a little earlier the mom was like, "How do you know? Like, how do you
Yeah.
know someone's gay? Like, do you just like look at each other, you just know?" And then at this moment, like it felt like that. Like they just
Yeah.
looked at each other and was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm attracted to
It's
this person."
so cute. And then I was just like, I could totally relate with Naveen because I was like, the minute this attractive person starts flirting with you, and
Yes.
he's just like so flustered, and he's like, I have to check my calendar, but yeah, I'm free. I'm 100% free, no problem. And then
Yeah. He's
Jonathan's character Jay is just so sweet and like smiling.
yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah. He's just very their personalities are so different.
yeah.
Naveen is very much just like closed in and shy and
Hmm.
nervous, and Jay is way more like outgoing and
Yeah.
charismatic. And so after the photo, yeah, Jay asks Naveen if he wanted to go see a movie with him on Sunday,
Hmm.
and he's like, "Oh, it's my dad's favorite movie." And so they go, and it ends up being forgive my
DDLJ is the
yeah
shortened version. I did look at the full name, but they call it DDLJ throughout because it's a long name. It's a very
yeah.
iconic romance movie, which
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to add to my list.
I actually started watching it. It's on
Did
Prime.
you?
Yeah,
It's
it's
on
3 hours
Prime?
long. It's 3 hours long.
I really wanted to watch it before we recorded today, but I was
Yeah.
out of internet service, so I had no possibility of watching it. And then I was like, there's no way it's available on streaming.
Yeah, I was surprised because
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, like let me watch this. It's iconic.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be cultured here. And I found it on Prime and I only got like a little bit in, but I was like, oh yeah, I know I'm gonna like this movie. And I was gonna let you know that I know you're gonna like this movie.
Oh, good.
But yeah, the main actress is freaking
Oh
stunning.
my God, I know. Just the clips we saw of her.
Woo.
And this is the first time that the director of that movie has let any other film include clips of it or any
Really?
music from it. So this is sort of a big deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, I think DDLJ is just a common way to, because even when I was like looking it up, I just wrote that and it automatically came up. So I think people just call it that. So yeah, so Naveen's like, what the fuck? And then why? Like, how is this? Because Jay's white, man.
Yeah.
And Naveen's like, why is this like your dad's favorite? He's like confused.
Yeah.
And so they walk out and Jay's like, oh, I was adopted by Indian parents. That's, you know, why it's my favorite movie, like growing up, my dad's favorite movie. And his parents, we learned, passed away. They were older when they adopted him. And so he likes to watch this movie just to remember them.
Yeah.
And so they're like outside and Naveen's just very like unsure about this whole situation. And Jay's just very like, he's like a romantic. He's just very like open in himself. And they're like talking about the movie and Naveen's like, I don't know, you know, it just seems like a little unrealistic. And Jay's like, oh, they find each other at the end. It's romantic. And then they start singing and he starts singing. And I'm just like, God.
Dude, could you imagine? I would have totally been Naveen in this situation where if I was on a date with someone and they started singing in the street loudly, using their body as like a drum and everything, I would have.
Girl, you keep recommending too many movies where people do this. This has to be like the third movie where they just like openly
sing in public.
And I'm just like, please, this is more.
It's horrible. But I'm like, he can get away with it because it's.
I mean, he has a great voice.
Yeah. I mean, he does a good job too, though, of making himself not sound like a professional.
Right.
Like he did King Henry.
Yeah, on Hamilton.
In Hamilton, he plays the king and does a beautiful job singing. He's really good, but he does act like he has his like voice break a little bit.
Yeah.
Apparently, he only needed to memorize like a few lines from the song, and he memorized the entire song and sang the whole song for everyone.
Oh my God, I love it.
Love that for him.
That's awesome. So Naveen is telling his friend Paul about the date, and Paul is another doctor, and he's also gay, and he's hilarious. I love
my favorite
Paul.
Character.
Oh my God, he's so funny.
There's this, I cannot wait till we go over it, but there's one scene that's going to be my most memorable scene because of Paul.
Is it the dinner when they're talking? I wrote it down. I was like, die. He's telling the story. Naveen's telling Paul about this date, and Paul was like, okay, like, this is weird. And Naveen's like, yeah, it was like really fucking weird. And he's like, okay, so you left. And Naveen's like, well, and they ended up going to a gay bar after the movie. And you could tell, like, this is not Naveen's scene. Like, he does not really go out. He has very traditional parents, traditional household. And I think he's just very, like, trying to cater to that. And so they go to this gay bar, and they're talking, and Naveen starts telling like hospital stories. Paul's like, please tell me you didn't do that.
And they're
it's just like,
but he's like, it's really interesting. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 in the parking lot, and then they have it alphabetized A, B.
It's just like the layout of the parking lot. Yeah, he's so sweet. He's just like listening to him.
Yeah, you have to be like hard eyes to just listen to someone talk about the organization of a parking garage.
Right. So then we learn more about Jay. So he starts vaping, and Naveen's like, oh no, I don't like that, which is fair. But Jay says like when he's nervous, he starts vaping. So he then talks about like he went through like 12 foster homes, and his parents were like the first family to really, where he felt like really love and like felt like home. And so it was like really sweet him talking about that and how much his parents meant to him and how they changed his perspective on love and what it feels like to have love, and that home is, you know, wherever people you love are. It's not just like a house. So then they're just like talking, and he's like, have you ever dreamed of like your dream wedding? And like, it's like a heavy conversation for a first date. And then he's like, no, I never thought about that. And he asks Jay like what his thoughts were, and he's like, "Oh, I want like a traditional Indian ceremony. Everyone's crying, and then we have choreo my god,
Choreographed.
choreographed dancing during the reception and like all this stuff, and it's like really sweet, and they just like have this like moment together."
Yeah.
And they go into like kiss, but then Naveen's like, I gotta go. And I was like, Naveen. And so they separate, they go
Yeah.
their separate ways. And then later, Naveen gets something in the mail from Jay, and it's an art gallery, and he invites him to it. So Jay is a
Dude,
photographer.
though, but like,
Yeah.
sorry, I keep whacking my desk. The fact that Jay is still trying, that is so
Yeah.
ballsy.
I
If
know.
I
I would
got
be
that
like,
rejection, I would have been like, I'm never talking to that person again.
I know. I mean, I guess like Jay just can tell that Naveen's nervous because it like,
Reserved, yeah.
yeah, Naveen had this like look where you can tell he was like really started to really be into Jay,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess he just sensed that energy and just like,
Yeah.
chickened out.
Tried
Um,
anyway, yeah.
yeah, Jay's wild. That yeah, couldn't be me. I would have been like, well,
Mm-mm.
he's not interested, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
just go cry about it later. Hopefully, we don't run into each other at the temple,
Yeah.
but
Right.
so yeah, so Jay's a photographer, freelance photographer, and the gallery is like a lot of like bodies with flowers. It's
Mm-hmm.
really nice photos. And then the one photo is him with his parents, and it's like
Yeah.
such a nice photo.
Yeah.
And Naveen talks to Jay after, and Jay's like, "What'd you think? Be honest." And Naveen's like, "That portrait, like family portrait, is my favorite. It like kind of just shows who Jay is the most out of like
Yeah.
everything." And then they kiss, and then they like have sexy time, and then
Yeah.
so the sex scene's like very like sensual, very sweet, and
Yeah.
then it gets interrupted by a Kia commercial.
No.
It was like so loud, and
No.
I was like, "Damn it,
Dude,
Kia!
that's
I fucking hate you."
so lame.
So thank you, Kia. Naveen and Jay are now like living together,
Yeah.
and they are together, very cute. But Naveen hasn't said anything to his family yet, and he's trying to figure out how
Mm.
to say something, which I'm like
Right.
surprised. Like, you're living with this man, you haven't said anything. It was like crazy. So
It's wild, and the fact that
yeah,
like his mom has been to his place since moving in, and
hmm
you're hiding it. You're
yeah,
hiding that. That's
yeah.
absolutely insane.
I know, and it's pretty wild. So basically, like I said, he's very traditional parents, and I know he's gay,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still a lot. And also, Jay's white, even though he was raised with Indian parents. He's a
Yeah.
white guy, and he's also a photographer. He's not like a doctor or something.
Yeah.
So it's just like a lot. And I think Naveen's just like
Yeah.
making things worse in his head, and it's just very
Mm-hmm.
panicked about it. Naveen and Jay are together walking around, and they run into his brother-in-law, Naveen's brother-in-law. And
Yeah.
Naveen quickly kind of steps away from Jay, and Jay notices. And the brother-in-law was like, "Oh, like, hey, how you doing? Whatever." And then Naveen's like, "Fuck, I'm
Yeah.
fucked." And his sister does call him like soon after, and he doesn't pick up, assuming that she
Mm-hmm.
knows now, whatever. And Jay is obviously upset. He's like, I'm basically nothing. I'm a ghost to you. Like, what if you haven't told your family about me? Like, what am I doing here? Which is very
Mm-hmm.
fair, Like,
Yeah.
I'd be very upset if I'm living with someone together and
Mm-hmm.
his family doesn't know anything about me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So they're having dinner with their friends, and this is the Paul story, which is so funny.
Dude, I was screaming, laughing, and I couldn't stop laughing throughout the movie. I just kept thinking about it and laughing again. It was so
He's
good.
like he's like in the middle of a story, and he's like, so he leans me against the door, and I'm thinking, first kiss, and then he robs me.
So funny. The way
It's this the guy like took his gun out, dude. I was like, what?
dude, he tells it so well too, where he's just
Yes.
like, he's just like engaging, and he's like, and then he robs me.
Yeah,
Like,
really. I was like, oh, he's like having a little like moment, like a date. Oh
I
my god.
know. Oh,
So it was
so
so
good.
funny. That's like easily the funniest part. And this movie's very
Yes.
funny, but
Yeah.
that part had me dying. So this great story's happening. But things are tense with Jay and Naveen.
Yeah.
And Jay opens up and is talking about, that how he feels to Naveen. And then he's like, Naveen never says what he wants. He never opens up, blah, blah, blah. And the friends are like, we should go. And Naveen's like,
Yeah.
no, it's fine. Stay. And Naveen then is like, no, I want like everything you want. I want the wedding. I want all of it. And
Mhm.
says all that, and Jay's like, "Are you asking me what I think you're asking?" And Naveen's like, "Yeah." And so they like basically get engaged at this point. I was
Yes.
like, "Oh my god!"
My cousin said so. So we're watching it, and the one girl at that point goes, "A betrothal," and my cousin was like, "That's so you coded." He was like, "That is just you, Megan. That's
The friends were great. I love
so
all the
good."
friends. They were so funny.
The writing in general in this movie is impeccable.
Yeah, very, very good. So now we're at a point where Naveen has to say something to his family. So he calls his dad and he's like, "Hey, I'm bringing someone over tonight." And the dad's like, "Is he a doctor?" And Naveen's like, "No, we met at the temple." And he was like, "Oh, okay, okay." And so
Mhm.
he's thinking he's an Indian guy and is like,
Yeah.
"That's fine, cool, we'll meet." And kind of doesn't let Naveen talk anymore. And Naveen doesn't really step in to interrupt and say,
Mm.
like, "Dad, wait." He
Yeah.
just lets it happen. It's like, Naveen, please, you can't just show up with a white man who's raised Indian. So it's close to the dinner. They're outside, Naveen and Jay, and Naveen's just like, "Don't do this, do
Yeah.
this, do this, do this," like lots of the things. And Jay's like, "Okay, okay." And the parents are nervous, but they're like, "At least he's
Mhm.
Indian." So they show up and they're surprised to see Jay as a white
Yeah.
man. And Jay's like, goes to like kiss their feet, and they're like, "It's okay."
Oh my god, it's so
He's being
sweet.
like
Like
respectful,
it's
but like,
just
can you imagine like not knowing that he was
how
raised Indian and this white person
yes,
just tries
yes.
to
Kiss your
like,
feet.
"What's he
Yeah.
doing?" So they're all inside. Things are a little awkward, but the parents are like, "It's, nice to meet,"
Mhm.
they're being very nice, and they have like a gay TV channel on. And
Yeah,
the
yes.
dad's
Out
like,
TV.
yeah, the dad's like, "Oh, the mom watches this stuff to try and bond more with Naveen," which is really nice.
I know.
And the sister's over and she is freaking out. She is like, "You would never let me show up with a white
Mhm.
guy, all this stuff, blah, blah." And the mom's like, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about?"
Right.
And so the sister's having this like moment. And I
Yeah.
could understand her to a point. She's upset
Mhm.
because obviously, like, I think Naveen just had it easier than she did. And I'm sure
There's
she was
always different
very,
standards.
yeah,
Yeah.
very pressured to have a certain career, marry the perfect person, and all this stuff. And I think like seeing Naveen with a white guy
Yeah.
and he, just like that triggered her. But also something else is going on in the background. We'll get to it.
Mm.
But yeah, the sister's being like really upset about the situation. And I'm just like, girl, like chill. It's not Naveen's fault,
No.
It's blame your parents, yes, but
Right.
like Naveen is
Right. She's taking it out on the wrong people and
yes.
making Jay super uncomfortable, which is sad because
Yeah.
it's like, how hard is it to meet your significant other's parents? And then there's all these
Right.
other layers on top of it of,
Right.
wanting to fit in and wanting to
Mhm.
find realizing over and over that Naveen did not tell them anything.
Yeah, yeah. So they're talking and Jay's opening up and talking about himself and the parents are surprised about a lot and Jay is like
Mm,
kind of like, "No, you didn't tell them this." And so Naveen didn't tell anything to his parents, which is upsetting.
yeah.
And then the parents start speaking Hindu to each other and the dad's like, "Photographer, like freelance, that's
Yeah.
basically jobless." And then Naveen's like, "Jay knows Hindu, like please."
Yes.
And it's really, really, it's so awkward. So awkward where Jay goes to use the bathroom and he's vaping to relax.
Mm,
And the sister, of course, downstairs flipping out more. And Naveen's like, "What is your fucking problem?"
mm-hmm.
Which is fair at this point. It's like, girl, what is your problem?
Right.
And
Right.
then Jay comes back down. They're talking more, and things seem okay. And then the sister goes to the bathroom, finds a cartridge, and it's like a weed vape. She comes down. She's like, "Oh, like Jay was smoking upstairs, basically," and it's just very like
Yeah.
horribly awkward. And the mom's like, "My towels." So Jay's like, "I'm gonna go," and he leaves. And so Naveen, of course, flips
Oh,
out. He's like,
yeah.
"What's wrong with you? Sorry, you have like the perfect life, blah, blah, blah." And then she says, "I'm getting a divorce." So,
Yeah.
God, everything is just on fire. And of
Mhm.
course, like I said, Naveen, she shouldn't have acted that way to Naveen and Jay. That was
Right.
like really inappropriate. But, she's got a lot of trauma herself and she was immature about it. But, that's
Mhm.
something you deal with your parents, not with Naveen.
Correct. Yes.
So horrible. And this is my deleted scene. It was just such
Yeah.
a bad
I
like
agree.
first
I
meeting.
agree.
And I felt so awful for Jay,
I
honestly. Like,
know.
Jay
It's
is doing his
sad.
best. He just wants, he wants that family
Yeah.
dynamic. He really loved his parents and that household he grew up in, and he just wants that again. And
Mhm.
everything just went wrong. So
Yeah.
Naveen goes back home, and Jay's packing up, like leaving. And I was like, no,
I know. I know.
not allowed to break up. And Jay's basically like, you are ashamed to be embarrassed by me. I can tell the first time I started singing to you outside that you were just like
Yeah.
embarrassed by me. And, Naveen's trying to like say no, like that's not true, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. But Jay's very much like, no, this is not going to work. So then, the next day at work, Paul's like, we're gonna go out tonight. We're gonna get crazy. So they go out, and
Mhm.
then when they come back to Naveen's house, his sister's there. And so the sister came to apologize. They have like another spiff because things get
Yeah,
tense, and Naveen's drunk, and she's still
and
being a bitch.
she is. She's so harsh. She's like,
Yeah.
"Well, if your relationship was on such rocky grounds, I guess did you a favor or
Yeah,
whatever." And
yeah.
it's like, "Dude, read the
She's like
room."
too much at this point.
Mhm.
But then in the morning they talk, and she's very much like is like jealous of their relationship, and she says the reason why she's divorcing her husband is because, well, this wasn't exactly the reason, but it was the final straw. So they're watching, her and her husband are watching Project Runway,
Mhm.
and Heidi, the host, is wearing this like sheer nice dress, and she asked her husband, "Oh, should I wear that to?" He was getting like, it was like an award ceremony that he was
Mhm.
gonna be a part of. She's like, "What do you think of me wearing something like that?" And he was like, "I don't care what you wear, just as long as you show up." And she just felt like he doesn't see her, and she also felt like she doesn't see him as well. So that was just kind of like the breaking point of her
Yeah.
realizing like we just don't have this love
Mhm.
that she wants. And, for a while, and even Naveen was like, well, you guys went on a blind date. Like, you could have said no. And she's like, I couldn't, like, and that's just her
Perspective.
mentality.
Yeah, she
Yeah, like,
felt very pressured
yes.
into moving forward with this arrangement.
Yeah. And, something that her mom would always say is that love, you have to adapt to it,
Mm.
adapt to marriage. Because her parents didn't have a choice. They got married, they didn't know each other before marrying. It was just strictly an arranged marriage. And so their relationship is very different. And then so the sister thinking, like, okay, I just have to adapt to it. And it's just not
Mm.
working. So, and then she was saying, with Naveen and Jay, like, she could tell, like, there was something there. And she thought it was, like, really sweet how Jay would, like, went to like touch his hair and stuff, and she was like, that's like really sweet. And so they're like talking a bit more, and I feel bad for the sister, but also like she was being a real bitch, but she's
Yeah.
like, she does get better, and I like her
Mhm.
character. I think her character was done really well. I think
Yeah.
she is a very well written character. And they're talking a bit more, and Naveen brings up how the first day they went to see DDLJ, and she was
Mhm.
like, did you tell him that when you were younger, you watched that on repeat until the,
Yeah.
the tape broke? And Naveen was like, no, I didn't say that. And so, there's a lot to Naveen that he hasn't opened up and said to
Mm.
Jay, and he's just like scared to, I guess. And the sister's basically like, you like, this is something special, and you shouldn't give up. You should open
Yeah.
up more. And so she apologizes, and it's a nice scene. I really like this
Yeah.
scene. One of the last things with like the movie, the DDLJ, is like he just thinks that the romance is silly. Like the idea of
Yeah.
love in that is silly, and just the grand gesture of love. So
Mm.
then he goes to pray. He's like, please, I need a sign. And someone comes in and rings a bell. And in the movie, apparently like a cowbell is wrong. And then they see each other. So he just
Mhm.
gets this like
Yeah.
inspiration. He's like, all right, I know what I have to do. So this was kind of most memorable, but I didn't choose this one.
Yeah.
Jay is
Mhm.
with his friends, his two friends, and they put on DDLJ, but it's like the end scene where they're running into flowers. And he's like, why? Like, I don't feel like watching this right now. Like, turn this off.
Yeah.
And then you see that it's actually edited, and
Yeah.
Naveen is playing the main guy. He's dressed
So
up
funny.
and he's singing. Oh my God, it was
In this
so funny.
awful wig.
Yeah.
It's just
And like Jay's loving it. He's like, "Oh my God, like
or
what is happening?"
yeah.
And it's like really sweet. It's like he's singing the song, and then he ends up coming out into the room, still
Mm.
dressed in the attire of the movie.
So good.
And he properly proposes,
Mhm.
like, again, and he has a ring this time. And Jay's like, I'm not gonna go through with the marriage without your family. And we see
Mhm.
the sisters there supporting. So
Yeah, you know that there is that support there.
Naveen and Jay go to speak to Naveen's parents and let them know about the engagement. And they say that they want a traditional Indian wedding. And the mom was like, you don't want like a gay wedding? Like, I picture more of a gay wedding where you're both wearing suits and you're in a bar and you have
Yeah.
a friend that
I know, and I'm
you
like, I
approved
think I
online.
had a gay wedding.
I immediately thought of your wedding. I was like cracking up. I was like, that's just like 90% of millennial weddings at this
Yeah,
point.
exactly. It's just a
Um,
millennial wedding.
And the friend officiating was just like killing me. It was so funny. And so they're like, no, like, we want a traditional wedding.
Mhm.
And so the mom's very supportive, very cool. And the dad's like a little weird
Yeah.
about what's going on. Um,
Mhm.
the mom's like, say congrats, say, this. And he's like, no, I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
And you can tell there's something off.
Yeah.
So they're meeting with a wedding planner, and this guy, this
He
character,
is
I was like,
too much.
he was like, "Thank you for trusting me with this homo wedding." And I was like, what is this? And he shows him a barn, and it's a
Yeah.
cute barn. And then he was like, we have September 11th. And the mom was like,
Stop.
perfect. And they're like, no, not September 11th. And he was like, there's something happened there. And she's like, oh, the terrorist attack. Yeah, yeah. She's like, maybe the 12th. And they were like, we have the 12th in 6 years. And so it's just like a headache, and the mom's just like flipping out on the planner, like
Yes.
off to the side. And she's like, you don't think my son's good enough for all this, blah, 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 a ballroom. And so she's just arguing with him, and Jay
Yeah.
and Naveen are just watching, and Jay's like, she really loves you. And it's like a
Yeah.
nice moment. The mom just really wants this to be,
The
the perfect,
perfect day.
perfect
Yeah.
wedding. So then Naveen ends up talking to his dad, who's there, but in the car. And so
Mhm.
he's like asking the dad what he's afraid of. And the dad's just trying to like blow it off. And he's just saying that,
Mhm.
you kids are like ungrateful. Like, I didn't have any sane marriage. I don't know why you're like asking me about this. And it just seems like the dad is still just like unsure about this
Right.
gay marriage situation. Like, he
Mm.
loves his son and he supports him, but like now that like something's actually happening, it's just like a lot.
Yeah.
And then Naveen says something about his parents might be fine with a loveless marriage, but he's not. And the dad was like
Right.
very surprised to hear that. And this comes from the sister saying that. The sister was like,
Yeah.
their marriage is loveless. And so the dad was like very surprised, and Naveen just kind of leaves. So then the next day, Naveen's with his sister, and the mom comes to talk to him. She's like, what'd you say to your dad? He's like
Mhm.
really upset.
Mhm.
And she tells Naveen, she's like, they've been trying so hard to like, because once he opened up and told him that he was gay, he pretty much left. Like, he left home. And she's like,
Mhm.
we tried really hard to not say the wrong thing, thinking that you would leave us forever. And we're just like really trying to bond with you.
Yeah.
And it was like really sweet, and just like, it just shows that their parents like just being really careful. Like, it's just like a new, they're unsure, but they're really trying,
Yeah.
and you could see that in the movie. And so then the dad ends up going to Jay's gallery, the photo gallery, and I was like,
Yeah. I
oh, and he sees like
know.
the portrait, and so it's just like the dad
Yeah.
trying, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's like so fucking sweet.
I know.
And then he calls Jay to like speak to him in person, and the dad opens up a little bit more to Jay and
Yeah.
says how he always wanted to be a caterer, but his dad, like, when he told his dad that, his dad pretty much gave him a scar. Like, it was
Yeah.
bad. So,
Yeah, it's
but
really sad.
he loves to cook, and he just then is like, Naveen loves to paint. I don't know if you know that. Like, this picture he drew, and
Yeah.
then he's like, Naveen's always surprising him, and that he has good tastes and instincts. He
And then
like,
he
this is
kisses
him.
him on the forehead.
Yeah, it's him welcoming Jay, and I'm like, it's so sweet.
I loved
So
that.
cute. It was really, really nice. Yeah.
Mhm.
And this was a good moment for Jay too, because that's so important to him. Family's just like so important to him. And so now he's accepted fully.
Yeah.
So then we have the wedding day, and it's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
So
It's
beautiful.
perfect. They have this beautiful ceremony, and it's so sweet. And then it goes to reception. The mom does a speech that they didn't know she was gonna do a speech. And it
so
was
good.
such a good speech. I was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna like bawl my ass out. It's
I
so nice.
know. It was so good. Do you know that actress is actually, this is her acting debut. She's actually a comedian.
I saw she was a
So
comedian, but I wasn't sure if she acted before.
yeah, no,
So
this was
yeah.
her first movie. And also
No,
there's something about her eyebrows that I'm obsessed
I
with. I just
know.
love her brows. I'm like, oh my God, give
It's
me.
yeah, she has fantastic brows.
Yeah.
But so she's talking about like her relationship with the father and like how, they didn't know each other and then she kept trying to cook for him and it was awful. And then one night he cooked for her and she was like, oh, thank God someone can cook. And they just like learned more about each other. And so from that conversation, you can tell that she does love the dad. They love
Yeah.
each other. It's just their relationship is different. Like sometimes
Yeah.
support and respect and is enough. And
Mm-hmm.
whereas the sister really just wants that, to be seen
Mm-hmm.
and just have that bond. And, the
More of
parents
a
just have
passion. Yeah.
yeah, more passionate. And the parents just have a different relationship and they are fine with that and they love that and they
Yeah.
love each other. So it was really nice to get that,
Yeah.
see that side from the mom and the dad's like crying a bit too. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so sweet. I just like, this movie was like so good with that, like the different
Yeah.
relationships and how it works for some people and how it works for others and
Mm-hmm.
the idea of arranged marriage and all that. So it was a really nice speech. And then the family ends up doing a choreographed dance for Jay. And this is my most memorable scene. I like loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. You do
Yeah,
say that every movie should end in a musical number.
it's,
So
yes, they should. And this one did. So, and it was really sweet. And all the family's coming up to dance. And the father
mm-hmm.
puts his hand out to bring Jay onto the dance floor. And it ends with them, Jay and Naveen kissing, and the family's dancing around them. And it was just like
And the way
really,
that
really
Jay and
sweet.
Naveen are looking at each other with the scarves going around them, I was
Yeah.
like, ugh.
I love gay love.
I know. It's beautiful.
So yeah, very sweet.
So
But
good.
that's the movie. That's how it ends.
Yeah, it's so good. So good. So good. So good.
Yeah. And I noticed too, like their background at the wedding was the flower field from
I
the
know.
movie. And I was like, that's so cute.
I love it.
So cute.
So good. I adored this movie. For me, it's just
Mhm.
everything that I have been looking for coming into 2025 with
Mhm.
rom-coms. The writing phenomenal, the acting was great, everything was really good and like hit all of the points that we often don't get with rom-coms, especially just
Yeah.
they tend to be very formulaic, very hallmarky.
Yeah. Rom-coms have to be both funny and
Mhm.
romantic, and I feel like a
Mhm.
lot of rom-coms, they're lacking somewhere, and I
Yeah.
feel like this one was, like, very funny, and it had good romance. Like, I would have loved to see, like, a little bit more of their relationship, but
Mhm.
I was okay with it because there was so much more to this movie than just them together, it was, like, his
Mhm.
relationship with his parents and dealing with, like, tradition and stuff like that. I just, like, really enjoyed it, so, yeah. So main characters, I said smash even though they didn't want
Dude,
me.
come on. Yeah, they wouldn't, but in an
I'll
alternate
take it.
reality,
Yeah,
maybe.
no, I'll watch. Cock cheer. Side character, I said the sister. Smash.
Mhm. Yeah, she's gorgeous.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
Fall in love, I said 10. I feel like both of
Mhm.
them are just so cute. I would just
Mhm.
adore either.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing not to love about them.
Right.
Recommend, yeah, I would recommend this. I think it's just a good movie, and I think it
Yeah.
has really good comedy, and I think it's just like an easy watch. It's not that long, and we should be watching more gay movies
Yes.
with people of color in leads.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I have like a whole list that I want to watch. The thing that is challenging is, we get a lot less of that like silly rom-com aspect
mhm.
because so many are focused on the coming out story,
Yeah,
which is like, we had Love, Simon, which was a beautiful story, but
yeah,
it was more of, it wasn't like really comedy. It wasn't like that low key light.
yeah,
It was like a heavy coming of age story at the
right.
end of it. And I was talking to my cousins because I was like, are there others that you could recommend? And there aren't a lot. They have tons of movies to recommend, but not
Yeah,
some that were like similar to this. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
really I'm on the lookout for them, and I'm gonna be like binging a lot of movies
Yeah.
moving forward, but I'm just hoping that we're entering this new era of movies. So the thing is, like, even though, you and I are so ingrained in this very modern mindset where it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, this is life, like, of course, whatever. But even like in working for the film, they came against a lot of homophobia, and they were reaching out to Vancouver area priests to consult on the ceremony and how that would work. And they were getting tons of rejections, and one
Mhm.
even used a slur in their rejection, which
Oh
is
my
like,
god.
you're a dude, you're a priest. Why are you using
Yeah.
a slur? But
Here Canada
whatever.
is pretty racist.
Right. It's just like you hear all these good things about Canada, but you forget.
They're still white.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it is.
That's really shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say what I like about this movie too is that it's not very, I feel like a lot of like rom-coms are just like have a lot of like sex and these crude themes, like themes that I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like not a fan
Yeah.
of, and I really like this and like this type of vibe. I think that's why I like a lot of coming of age movies because they're just like a nice
Sweet.
story. Yeah, and I'm just like I like that. I don't like it when it's like too
Yeah.
gross and
Well,
all
that's the
that.
thing. It's like I watched this movie and they mentioned this movie in this one, Bros, and the guy asks Naveen, he's like his friend, Paul asks Naveen,
Hmm.
has your mom watched Bros? Which is hilarious because that is the most like graphic, like it's like Bridesmaids or Hangover, very
Yeah.
sort of gross comedy where
Yeah.
there's like orgies and they're just like constantly talking about like going down on each other and whatever.
Oh my
And
God.
it's like, yeah, it's a good movie, but not one
Yeah.
that like I love. I don't love. I like the sweeter love. I
Yeah,
like.
I love Bridesmaids and
Mhm.
Hangover, it's really funny, but they're comedies, like
I'm not
those.
looking for love in them.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not, if I'm watching like a rom-com, I don't want like
Exactly.
Bridesmaids as a rom-com.
Exactly.
So that's just me, but
Yeah. No, I'm the same way, and that's why I never recommended it to you. I wanted to because I wanted to like have more diversity, but I was like, I don't love this movie. I don't think you would, as a romance, enjoy it quite as
sometimes we have to
much.
make sacrifices.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll come forward at some point. I don't really want to do a rewatch, but whatever.
Yeah, if I gotta do what I gotta do, I guess
Yeah.
sometimes. But yeah, so I prefer rom-coms like this.
Yeah.
That's why I really like a lot of like 80s rom-coms, like the
Mm-hmm.
classics. They're just like fun and
Sony said that, yes, this movie for me, I would say, probably my favorite release of 2025.
Mhm.
It's Five Hearts all the way.
Yeah.
I loved it. I really did. It just was something that I super enjoyed. I really, really loved it.
Yeah, I am also giving it 5. I
Yes.
thought about maybe like 4.9. I was like,
For what?
because of I wanted a little bit more of them, but I was like,
Yeah.
I did really like the movie overall, and I feel
Yeah.
like more from them wouldn't have really mattered. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give it a 5 because it didn't need that. Like I would love
Hmm.
to see more of their relationship, but this
Yeah.
movie was so much more than that. So I was like,
It was a very complex and it had
yeah.
parts. Like there were like what 5 or 6 parts to the movie.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I
Which
think
I
it's a
like. It was cool that they broke it up like that. It's cute.
yes. And I think it's supposed to be very reminiscent of Bollywood films in that way and kind of
Hmm.
paying homage to DDLJ and things like
Yeah.
that, where I think there's an intermission in DDLJ because it's so long. And
It's crazy. When I saw
yeah,
3 hours, I was like, whoa.
yeah, that's a
Oh my
very
God.
long one, but I know what I'm watching for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited to finish it because I was like really into it. I was like, man, this is good stuff. This is
Yeah.
quality stuff.
Ready for the next movie?
Are you?
No. So should we talk about our common thread first? Because as
Yeah.
part of it being last episode was our no 2 episodes ago was our 100th
Hmm.
episode. So I was like, "Ooh, let's see how we've broken up our reviews," and we have a decent amount of like 3, 4, 5s, not a lot of bad reviews that we've given for movies. And Demi said, we need, go
Also,
ahead.
because I knew I was gonna give this a 5, so I was like, oh, it's funny if we're just like rating these movies so high and we're like on a high right now and we just ruined that.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, let's find movies that are rated awful on Rotten Tomatoes. 0 if possible. Like critics, audience. I couldn't find 0 for both.
It's very hard. I feel like you only get 0 if there's almost no ratings at all.
Yeah.
Like it's an unheard of made for TV sort of thing.
Right. So we decided on under 20%. Both of them have to be under 20%. And you had some other criteria.
I did. I was just being annoying.
You said if someone like bonus points for a recognizable actor. What else did you say?
I said ideally at least 100 reviews, because I just want there to be like a decent amount. I don't want it to be one star review where you're like, oh, okay, this is bad to one person.
Yeah.
So I said 100, but like we don't have to have critic, because there's no promise of a certain amount of critics rating it. So I was like, no, none for the critics, but audience score, I wanted at least 100 people. So those were like my insane criteria for this, but at the end of the day, it's just really low rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
I hit all of them.
Did you?
I did. So
okay, I am dying to know what the percentage is, because I'm a little nervous.
So the movie is called Alone in the Dark, and it has 1% critic rating with 120 reviews, and 11 with over 50,000 audience reviews has 11%.
Shut up.
Wow. Awful. And this, I didn't realize it is based off a video game. And I was like, that makes it so much worse. That makes it so much worse. You know it's gonna be bad. It's called Alone in the Dark. And I'm just gonna read the script here. I'm just gonna read it because it's so funny. Okay. When the investigations of supernatural detective Edward Carnby leads him to discover a long-lost tribe called the Abscani, he finds out that they worshipped demons. These evil creatures are now attempting to resurface in the world, and Edward can stop them only with the help of Aileen Cedric, an archaeologist who also happens to be his old flame. With sinister forces attempting to take over Edward's mind, can he and Aileen stop them before it's too late? Like this long description.
Stop. Dude, once again, with Native American tribes being pulled into this shit.
Yep. Yes. So I know the video game. I haven't played it myself. And it was actually just remade.
Okay.
But it's like a detective mystery game.
Interesting.
So, but I know the original is like really well loved. So this is, I just know it's gonna be really bad.
Who's the big name that I would know?
Kristen Slater. Yeah. I was like, oh. And the other one's Tara Reid, actress. I believe Tara Reid.
What?
So she's, you will know her face, but she was like in the American Pie movies.
Oh, not the American Pie movie. God, what am I about to watch?
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. So have fun with this. I did find a movie that had 0% critic, and it had like a good amount of critic reviews.
Really?
But the audience was like 19, and I was like, oh, if I even it out, Alone in the Dark so it's lower. But the other one was called like Dark something, and it had Dennis Quaid in it.
No, with the romance, I was finding there weren't a lot of critical reviews of the lower rated romance ones, which I just think, I mean, I'm not surprised, but
you were like, I'm not wasting my time.
Yes, I found a lot of low rated ones that were like 1 critical review. So
yeah,
I have to reevaluate now.
Let me see. It's not even showing his fucking movie because it's probably so awful. He's just erased it
from his.
It's called Dark something, but it's pretty much like these teenagers sneak into a mortician's office and his wife's been dead for like 2 years. And I could just tell it was gonna be some garbage fucking psychological shit. Whereas Alone in the Dark is probably similar, but I'm like, there might be a goofy monster or something like somewhat at least more enjoyable than just
Yeah.
Dennis Quaid being like, "I actually killed her myself, probably," and it's, like, really fucking stupid, so but yeah, so you can watch it on Prime,
All right.
I know the cover, I don't know if I've seen it, so we'll
Okay.
see. See if I
All right.
recognize
Can't
anything.
wait to talk about this.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, fun time.
And it'll be
Don't
something.
don't get used to these bad movies, 'cause my heart and mental health can only take
I
so much
know,
garbage.
seriously. Okay, so thanks for listening to How Do You Watch This? You can find us on Instagram at How Do You Watch This and TikTok at How Do You Watch, and we're on YouTube now. You can also email us at howdoyouwatchthis@gmail.com. If you like the show, support us by giving us a review or recommend to a friend. Thank you.
See you next time.